All right, we're going to try a second version of this. I just did about 10 minutes of a review on this, and then I decided that I had the wrong mic set up, so hopefully this one's better. Going through your match, it was actually a really good match. Couple things that I wanted to point out. Like I said, I kind of walked through it before as I watched the whole entire thing, and like I said, went over a bunch of stuff as we went through the match. The first one that I wanted to point out was here. So your wrestling position was actually really good. Head was in the neck there, had an underhook, and then you switched to the other side. And so he was starting to pull guard as you were getting double unders here. So it ended up working out, and you get the 2 points for the takedown. So that's nice. But if you were already in that advantageous of position, you know, me personally, I'm going to try to shoot for a single right away, especially when he steps forward on that leg. So like say right here, pretty much. When he made that little step, shooting down, try to hit a single. But like I said, you still get the takedown, so that was nice. You start working for a pass here. You do a good job of getting shoulder pressure. One thing that I wanted to talk about is there's, in my opinion, there's two differences. You can have shoulder pressure across the neck, like it appears that you're doing here, or shoulder pressure on the chin. Sometimes, you know, one calls for one and then it calls for the other. So, or you know, you kind of have, like I said, the two options there. If you're looking to cut off their, you know, their air or their blood, that's the one that you're doing. If you're looking to keep their face away, this is the one you're doing. So like me personally, when I'm doing a half guard pass or like this, I want to put shoulder pressure on the chin. When I'm in side control, I'm trying to do more of this to where I'm trying to break the, you know, their blood circulation, so it makes them a little bit woozy. So now when you drop here, I would drop your hip all the way down and bring your knee really high, because if you notice, he's going to start to shrimp around, and then you give him a little bit of space to bring this leg in right here. So again, if you negate that space by dropping your hip down and bringing that knee tight and really trying to take this foot, your left foot, and bring it heel toe up to his butt with your knee high, I think you'd be able to work on slicing and getting into that pass a lot better. So from here, one of the big things that I noted is that looks like he maybe had a setup right, he almost does it here, for like a modified like hip bump this way back into a triangle. You'll see this like a la Mike Fowler back in the day, or at least in my case a little bit back in the day. But the one thing that I would make sure that you work on is addressing him trying to get grips around your collar or your neck right away. So anytime he tries to do that, he's trying to break down your posture, and I would address those before trying to open up his guard. So you do a good job of reestablishing here and coming back up and starting to open up his guard again. So you see this here, you can turn your, like, get your posture back obviously, but turn your hips slightly. So you keep trying to walk your butt back, but you can also, like Salo Ibero, like twist your hips just a little bit in order to get those legs to open up. Alright, so here he's going to try for that arm drag, and as soon as you can, and I think you probably already feel it here, but like he's starting to go towards the back, you need to rip this arm back and bring it back on this other side. So he's trying to get two arms onto this side and it's good around to the side. You need to bring that arm back, and that, like, this is, you can feel him ripping, but like this elbow should be down right away. It shouldn't be trapped on this side. So he starts going around for the arm drag to the back, and now you do kind of an unconventional escape here, but it actually ends up working really nice up to a double. Now, this was one of the other key things that I wanted to talk about that I saw in the match, was the fact that there's a couple times in this match that he doesn't, he's got a butterfly hook on this side and he's got close guard on this side, and you almost allow him to go into a guard situation. Actually, it was, let me go further back. Right. No, not quite. In front here. Okay, right here. So when he has the same position here. And you almost, like I said, you kind of let that knee pop out. So coming around, boom. And what I'm trying to stress here is the fact that as soon as you feel this position, and now we'll go to it later on, as soon as you feel this position, you have to staple down to this particular leg. So in this case, like if I were to do it, like I would have my head on the opposite side. I'm going to go bring it back just a little bit so it's easier to see. Okay, right here. So head on my right side, right hand grabbing this far foot, this one here that you're trapping with your hip, and then left hand grabbing the shin, dropping my hip down and walking around to the left. Otherwise, you can take this knee and put it on this side and start to walk around. But in my opinion, when I'm in this position here, my number one concern is this leg, not allowing him to bring this around and getting into close guard. You'll see a lot of people just, I think mostly because in class people do it, they kind of allow people to get this leg out and go into close guard because that's what's familiar. And as soon as you feel this, like you should be stuffing that, because like you're gonna allow him to go back into close guard here in a second, I think. And then now you're having to pass. Now you do a good job of starting to do a pass here, but like I said, now you could have already been passed. So next thing that I want to talk about, one of the last things I think, is that the double underpass. I really want you to go back and right here. So you see how high your elbows are. In my opinion, your elbows should be right around his hips, and you should be scooping him up. So in other words, like making almost a U with his body. So scoop up, so his hips should be up just above your hips, right? So just his shoulder blades should be on the mat. And you're doing a pretty good job of it, but see how much you're driving forward? Sometimes you can end up getting swept there or getting caught in a submission. Really try to be like scooping that person up and then tilting him to a side. Now you're driving forward here, putting a lot of forward pressure in, not necessarily, like I said, bad, but I like to see you scoop him up a little bit more. And then your arm should be coming across, cutting across the body and getting into that position. Now I think you push him over and he kind of turtles and you take his back. Yep, okay, good. Nice work on getting that arm in right away. Establish it. Again, try to establish that right hook in first and then left hook. As you're dropping forward, you end up getting it, but right here, establishing hooks right away. So right hook and then left hook. And you end up getting the tap, I think. Yep, nice. Okay, so here's the things I would work on if it, if I was watching this footage and you were my student. Not allowing him to get head control or to break my posture from here. Anytime I'm in this position, fighting those hands and pushing him back down, or even just popping him in the chest as he starts to sit up like this. So right hand pops him in the chest and puts him back down. Not super high to where he can armbar it, just high enough to be able to pop him back down. Maybe work on getting a little single off that head positioning, and then two other things, not allowing him to get that foot around in a close guard, and then on the double underpass, scooping him up a little bit more rather than driving him forward so much. But really good match, nice win. I know that you said, I think he had, if I read it right, won 3 of the 4 matches that you'd had that day. So it was nice to see that you got a win on this one. Just because sometimes that can be mentally daunting if somebody's already beat you a couple times. So nice work.